Chapter 39 Explosive Sales. Supply falls short of demand. Anxiousness was written all over Yu Yu's face. She didn't want to waste a single second. All she wanted was to get the activation code accounts right away, upload them to the official website, and put them up for sale. After all, countless people were waiting eagerly. Li Changjian immediately took out 10 newly copied USB drives. Beauty you! Here are 10 USB drives for you. As Yu took them, Li Changjian asked again, "Is it really that popular? Is it really that popular?" Its popularity was far beyond imagination. Yu turned around and left. As she walked, she left a reply. 500,000 activation code accounts were sold out in 10 minutes. What do you think? Li Changjian's spirits lifted instantly. 500,000 sold out in 10 minutes? Damn it! I can't let the supply run out on my end. Li Changjian quickly shouted to the employees, busy copying accounts in the back end. Speed up, everyone. The sales team is about to run out of stock. The live stream chat was also in an uproar. What's going on? Why can't I even grab an activation code? Damn it, there were still 30,000 left a second ago. I just went to take a pee, and they're all gone when I come back? Hurry up and grab one. There are only 1 million activation codes available today. If you don't get one, you won't be able to play. Damn it, I don't even play games. But you guys have got me all fired up. Screw it, I'll grab one to try too. Is this game really as good as you all say? Quit hesitating. This is a masterpiece. Missing out on playing it for even a day is a loss. Many people had little to no experience playing games, but after seeing how popular this shooting game was, they still couldn't help but want to give it a try. 58 yuan wasn't that expensive. After all, Chen Yuan had been monitoring the back-end data, watching batches of accounts being sold on the official website. Chen Yuan grinned from ear to ear. It seemed the results were even better than he'd imagined. Chen Yuan sat with his legs crossed, sipping tea happily as he watched the data skyrocket. Soon it was noon. The company didn't have a canteen after all. Penglai Games had been on the verge of collapse before, and non-essential facilities like the canteen had long been shut down. As the boss, Chen Yuan naturally wanted to prepare a hearty lunch for the employees who were working so hard. He decided to order takeout. After finding a restaurant with good ratings, Chen Yuan placed an order right away. 2 delivery riders were waiting outside the restaurant. There were few orders that day, so both riders were in low spirits. There are so few orders today. If this goes on, it'll be another wasted day, one said. Tell me about it. Waiting around in this scorching sun, I'm merely losing my patience, the other replied. One of them took off his helmet and fanned himself. If there are no more orders, I'll call it a day and go home to sleep. Just then his phone beeped. You have a new order. The rider grinned. An order's here. Before he could finish speaking, a flurry of beeps followed. You have a you. Needless to say, it was a flood of orders. The other rider was filled with envy. Damn, you either get nothing or a whole flood of orders at once. He opened his phone and saw that 10 orders were from the same restaurant to the same location. After a moment of shock, the writer burst into joy. Just one trip and he'd earned dozens of yuan. This was a great order. Haha, same restaurant, same delivery spot, today's my lucky day. He parked his electric bike. At that moment, the other writer's phone also started ringing non-stop. You have a new. He opened it and smiled too. Me too. Come on. Let's see if we are delivering to the same place. They compared their orders and sure enough, it was the same location. Penglai Games. Why does that name sound so familiar? The other writer patted his head. I think they just launched a new game. He put on his cap. Yeah, I saw the ads too. I play games sometimes, but the experience is usually bad. So I haven't played in a while. Wonder if this one's really as good as they say. Alright, let's hurry up and pick up the food. Soon 4 delivery riders arrived with 36 takeout orders. Each order was a high-standard set meal, 2 meat dishes to vegetable dishes, and a bowl of soup. It was obvious that the riders could carry all of them in one trip. Where do we deliver these? 4th floor office. Let's go. They went upstairs together. When they reached the 4th floor and knocked on the office door, the person who opened it was a teenager. Put the things on the table. Chen Yuan stepped aside and pointed to the desk. Got it. They placed the takeout on the table. Chen Yuan called the heads of each department and told them to come pick up their lunches. Most of them came without hesitation, but when he called Yu, her reply was simply no time. She really was swamped running back and forth between the computer room and the sales team, while also handling data uploads. She had no time to pick up lunch. No time. Then I'll deliver it to you. Chen Yuan picked up their lunch and headed straight to the sales team. Yu was up to her ears in work. Li Baolai, who was helping her, also had a heavy workload. His forehead was covered in sweat, but he didn't have time to wipe it off. Chen Yuan put the lunch boxes on the table and said to Yu and Li Baolai, who were swamped, "Iv, put your lunch on the table. Eat it while it's hot." Yu looked up at Chen Yuan. No time. Chen Yuan took over her work and smiled. I'll keep an eye on things for you. You go eat first. Yu curled her lips, just done to mess things up. But the next second, Chen Yuan was operating the computer with remarkable skill. His smooth movements made it clear that he really could take over for a while. Chairman Chen JRB, you're pretty good at this. Yu took out a sou and wiped the sweat from her forehead. Then she turned to Li Baolai and said, Lao Li, let Chairman Chen JRB keep an eye on things first. Let's hurry up and eat. Okay. The two picked up the lunch boxes, distributed them to the other employees, and found a place to eat. Chen Yuan was handling the workload of several people alone, even though he was proficient with computers. It was still a struggle. Thankfully, Yu and the others ate quickly, and soon took over the work again. Yu teased, who would be thought Chairman Chen Jr. knows so much at such a young age? Soon it was 1 o'clock p.m. According to the announcement on the official website, the game would officially launch in 10 minutes. Chen Yuan went to the computer room. Li Changjian had a heavy workload that day. He had to keep producing activation codes while also ensuring the game ran smoothly. When he saw Chen Yuan coming, he immediately said, "Chairman Chen JRB, you're just in time. The game is about to launch officially. Let you be the one to witness this historic moment." As he spoke, Li Changjian walked over to Chen Yuan. "This big button here is the connection switch. Just press it, and the server will turn on. You're the game's developer and creator. You should be the one to do this for such an important moment." Chapter 40 Great games breed great streamers. Chen Yuan didn't refuse. It wasn't about being part of a historic moment. It was about pitching in to help. "No problem. I'll time this perfectly." Chen Yuan gave an okay gesture, then stood beside the machine and waited quietly. Players were going crazy with anticipation. Those who had downloaded the game and bought activation codes were staring at their computer screens, eyes glued. For these game fans, every minute felt like torture. As for streamers hoping to earn their first pot of gold with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, they were even more anxious, fidgeting restlessly. Finally, the time hit 1:10 p.m. Chen Yuan raised his hand and pressed the switch firmly. The server connection was activated instantly, and the machine screen lights began to flash continuously. "The server's live, guys. This is Swordman of Nanshan. Let me show you all the differences between the official server and the beta server. Thanks to the boss for sending Aracat. Note, a high-value virtual gift on Chinese live streaming platforms. You're awesome. Alright, we've launched the game. Let's start with a 4-player team match to test the waters. Super fast. We matched with teammates and opponents in just a few seconds. Nice. Really nice. The game runs even smoother. No lag at all. Thumbs up. Thanks to the second-ranked boss for sending a crate of beer. Note, a virtual gift. The moment the server went live, a flood of players who had been waiting at their computers poured into the game. Many of them hadn't even played the beta version. Now that they were in the game, curiosity took over. They jumped right into trying out all the game modes. Haha, the pan. It's so damn easy to use. I saw in the promotions that the pan can even block bullets. Wonder if that's true? He controlled his in-game character to ambush a player who was wandering around with Ogden. Sneaking up, he jumped out and swung the pan. The hit player quickly jumped 3 times in a row, while spinning his mouse to find the attacker. He raised his pistol and fired, but the next second, he seemed to hear a clang sound. It was as if the bullet had really been blocked by the pan and no green blood. Note, common visual feedback for damage in shooting games splattered. The player with the gun froze. Is that even possible? In his moment of shock, the pan came down on his head again. The player wielding the pan went wild with joy. Haha! It really can block bullets. This is awesome. Great game, amazing game. Haha, my skills are so good. I am gonna start streaming right now. He logged out of his account, opened a live streaming platform, and registered a new streamer account. Streamer name, PUBG Pan Hero. He had aerial talent for gaming. His movement skills were incredibly agile, combined with the massive popularity of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds right after its launch. His stream's viewership skyrocketed. Soon he had 10,000 concurrent viewers. What made PUBG Pan Hero stand out was that he refused to use any other weapon. He was obsessed with the pan. He roamed the game world with just a pan, blocking bullets, swatting grenades, sneaking around. He mastered it all. Plus, his humorous, witty commentary won over more and more viewers. In no time he stood out from the crowd of new streamers and became a unique, iconic figure in the early days of the game. Game streaming had once been an obscure career, but with the explosive success of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, the profession entered its golden age. Streamers whose popularity surged soon started making over 1,000 yuans a day. A few with unique styles even joined the ranks of those earning over 10,000 yuans daily. Amid the company's frantic, fiery busyness, 3 p.m. finally rolled around. Chen Yuan took a moment to check Penglai Games' stock price. That day, the stock price hovered around 3.62 yuans, fluctuating slightly but with no major changes. Many players who had an amazing experience with the game began to take notice of the company and naturally wanted to buy some of its stocks to play around with. Unfortunately, they were too late. When they opened the stock app, they realized they couldn't buy any shares of Penglai Technology at all. Damn it! I feel like I just missed out on 100 million yuans. At 5 p.m. Dong Jianguo walked into the office, his face beaming with excitement, holding a report. Haha, Chairman Chen JRB. This is our revenue data for the past 4 hours. Chen Yuan stood up full of anticipation and took the report. It clearly stated, as of 5 p.m., the total number of game activation code accounts sold was 3,627,637. Total revenue 204,003,000 yuans, over 200 million yuans. Game approval rating reached 98.9%, a record high in gaming history. How many hours had that been? From 1:10 p.m. to 5:00 p.m., nearly 4 hours. 200 million yuans in revenue in 4 hours. Anyone who saw this data would know a money-making machine had been born, and it was about to usher in a new era of gaming. Dong Jianguo, standing beside him, was beside himself with excitement. From the brink of bankruptcy to 200 million yuans in daily revenue, Penglai Games had achieved this in just 2 days. This was destined to become a legend, and the creator of this legend was actually a 14-year-old boy. Most importantly, the game required no development investment, meaning its costs were extremely low, so low that even the loose change could cover them. 200 million yuans in net profit. Once these figures were sent to the Burke, those banks that had already started pressing for debt repayment would instantly switch to fawning and flattering. They probably even begged to lend more money, with assets doubling in just 4 hours. Within Penglai Games' stock price soared like crazy. Chen Yuan placed the report on the desk and tapped it lightly. Old Dong, send this data to the CBIRC right away. Also, tell the night shift staff to stay sharp. How about this? Old Dong Don go home tonight. Stay here to monitor things the whole time, just in case something goes wrong, and no one's around to handle it. Dong Jiangguo agreed without hesitation. No problem. After agreeing, he left the office. He still had other things to take care of. Chen Yuan checked the time. It was time to go home. He picked up his phone from the desk, went outside and hailed a taxi. While waiting, he took out his phone and opened the reality show's live stream. The stream's viewership didn't seem very high. That day, only 300,000 concurrent viewers. The bullet comments were all about the new game's launch. Haha, the game's a hit. I bet our stocks will hit the daily limit tomorrow. You're right, it definitely will. Haha, playing the game got Yuan recommended while watching my money grow. One word, awesome. Those black fans must be kicking themselves now. Haha, if they hadn't sold their stocks, they'd be the ones enjoying this now. God, Yuan's young, but he saw master at reading people. He tricked those black fans so bad they Ray crying for their moms. I'm a black fan, but I'm not panicking at all. I don't play PC games or touch stocks. I just love bashing him. What can you do about it? Dude, stop. If you keep bashing him like this, God, Yuan will outplay you until you Ray ruined. Chapter 41. You Ray really good at navigating human relationships. Chen Yuan glanced casually at the bullet comments. Real-time comments scrolling across the screen. In live streams on the live stream, the number of anti-fans had decreased significantly. Presumably, they were hiding somewhere, crying and regretting their actions. His fan count had reached 1,070,000. Thanks to the game's release, his reputation points had skyrocketed to 34,000. It seemed those seasoned gaming enthusiasts had already gotten hooked on the game and become his loyal fans. After all, winning over gamers only required one good game. With 30,000 reputation points, should he draw a lottery, a common gameplay mechanism in novels where characters exchange points for rewards? He decided against it. No rush. Saving up more points would be better. Just then, the ride-hailing car arrived. Chen Yuan got in and told the driver his address. When he got home, he saw his dad standing downstairs, looking around anxiously. Chen Yuan walked over. Chen Donglai immediately asked, "Where have you been? You Ray still young, don't go running around and get lost." Chen Yuan smiled. "Just work." "Work? Did you find a job?" Chen Yuan nodded. "You could say that." Chen Donglai instantly looked nervous, glancing warily at the drone, following and filming Chen Yuan. "Son, employing child labor is illegal and against the rules. How dare someone hire you?" Employing child labor was indeed illegal, but there was nothing wrong with a teenager hiring adults, right? Chen Yuan shook his head and smiled. "It's my own company, and the program team isn't interfering either." "Your own company?" Chen Donglai, looking quite flustered, placed his hand on his son's forehead. "You seem fine, no fever. Why Are you talking such nonsense? If only he had access to electronic devices. Chen Donglai is implied to have limited contact with electronics. He would definitely be shocked beyond belief. His dad was already exhausted from studying. If he suddenly found out his son was actually the boss of a listed company, Chen Yuan worried it might overwhelm him. Chen Yuan changed the subject. I'm in perfect health. The only thing wrong with me is that I'm hungry. Why don't you think about what we're having for dinner instead? Chen Donglai's eyes lit up immediately. Son, let your dad show off his cooking skills again tonight. No way! Cooking is a waste of time. I think we should just go to the restaurant across the street. The live stream chat exploded with laughter. Haha, God, Yuan. A respectfulness cane is really scared. Who dares to touch his dark cuisine? A term for food that tastes extremely bad or looks unappetizing. Dad Yuan's cooking skills are no joke. They could practically send his precious son off a humorous exaggeration, meaning the food is so bad it's dangerous. The true culinary ocean. After dinner, the father and son returned home. Go do your homework quickly. Teacher Song will be here soon. Chen Donglai burped at the mention of studying. He looked a little annoyed. I know. Stop rushing me. Chen Yuan sat on the sofa. Dad, you look quite rebellious, acting defiantly like a disobedient teen. Chen Donglai froze. Instinctively, he reached for his 7 wolves, often humorously referenced as a tool for parents to discipline their children, saying your dad is rebellious. What a filial son! Sarcastic, as the son's comment could be seen as disrespectful. But then he paused. Wait, maybe, just maybe, he was being a bit rebellious. Getting annoyed at the thought of studying was exactly like those teenage boys at school. He awkwardly withdrew his hand from the 7 wolves belt, picked up his school bag from the sofa. Fine, I'll study. He trudged into the small study with his bag, watching his dad's reluctant back. Chen Yuan shook his head helplessly. He's such a grown man. Chen Yuan poured himself a cup of tea. He had only drunk 2 sips when he heard a knock on the door. He stood up and opened it. Teacher Song was standing outside. Teacher Song, you're here. Teacher Song nodded. Yes. Where's your dad? He's already waiting fee. As he spoke, Teacher Song walked into the study. Just as the door closed, Chen Yuan heard his dad's obsequious voice. Teacher Song, you're here. Please sit. Are you tired? Let me massage your legs. None. Let's start the Thudaquidiridigetigy. Penglai Game Company was in a state of chaos, extremely busy. Many people who had bought activation codes rushed home after work to download the game as soon as possible, then hurried to start playing. Most people, however, couldn't delay due to work. They could only sneak glances at live streams to get their fix. One person even got so annoyed at the slow download speed at home that he rushed to a nearby internet cafe. The internet cafe was also packed. Boss, do you have Player Unknown's Battlegrounds PUBG, a popular multiplayer battle royale game, referred to here as the game developed by Penglai? The boss pointed to the line of people. See that? They were all waiting to play PUBG. go stand at the end of the line. The fact that people had to line up at internet cafes, it showed just how popular the game was. Fine, I'll wait in line. Sales of activation codes were even more frantic. Li Changjian was swamped with work, and he was also being constantly urged by Miss Yu. Can you hurry up? The 300,000 activation codes are already sold out. Zhao Li, a casual, lightly patronizing way to address someone named Li. Players are our gods, and the gods are already complaining. They mad that the sales system is lagging and that we restocking too slowly. Li Changjian wanted to cry but had no tears. It was already 9:30 p.m. when Teacher Song finished the tutoring session. As she was about to leave, Chen Yuan came out, holding a pack of high-quality tea. My dad is too slow to learn. He must have made you work so hard. Teacher Song, please take this tea with you. With that, he stuffed the tea into Teacher Song's small bag. Chen Donglai watched this scene, dumbfounded. This kid, he's 7 better at navigating human relationships, knowing how to interact with people and show courtesy appropriately than him. Teacher Song couldn't refuse, so she left with the tea. At 8 o'clock the next morning, Chen Yuan returned from his run but didn't see his dad. He assumed his dad had already gone to school. As mentioned earlier, he went home to change clothes, then headed to Penglai Game Company. When he arrived at the company entrance, he saw that the 2 companies on the first and second floors were moving out. Mr. Dong, likely a senior staff member or partner, must have told the 2 companies on the first and second floors to move out of the building. From now on, their company would be the only one in the entire building, which would save them some trouble. When Chen Yuan walked into the office, he saw Dong Jiangguo fast asleep on the sofa. He walked over and nudged him. Old Dong? Dong Jiangguo stirred at the sound. When he saw Chen Yuan standing in front of him, he perked up and stood up immediately. Chairman Chen JRB, a respectful way to address Chen Yuan, emphasizing his young age while acknowledging his position. Dong Jiangguo excitedly walked over to the desk, picked up the report on it. Here are our results from last night. Take a look. Chen Yuan took the report and read it. As of 5 o'clock that morning, activation code sales 2780500, revenue 161,300,000 yuans, approximately $22.5 million US, based on 2024 exchange rates, adding the 200 million yuans from the previous day. The total reached 360 million yuans. It would be 24 hours exactly at 1 p.m. that day. There was a chance to hit 400 million yuans. Chen Yuan put down the report. Old Dong, you've worked hard. Hurry up and rest for a few hours. Bring me the first day marketing report again at 1:30 p.m. today. Dong Jiangguo was grinning at the first half of the sentence, but his smile faded instantly at the second half. Well, it's going to be another day of running myself ragged. After Dong Jiangguo left, Chen Yuan sat down at his desk. The game was now on track, and the number of users was still surging. It was essential to prepare in advance and add more servers to avoid crashes. Choose Dio Chuchu or Chuchu.